Hey guys, King of Charm Managers here. Alright, so I was asked to make a Machamp level 50 video XL since a lot of you did grind community day and a lot of you probably have the XL candy you need to make an XL Machamp. So to make this video really simple, what we're going to do is assume a level 50 Machamp versus the Open Master League meta. And I'm going to assume that everything in Master League is at level 40. At the exception of Machamp, just in case you get a mirror patch against someone that has a level 50 Machamp. So without further ado, as you see, Machamp used to max out at around 3056. I think that was the old IV. Now it maxed out near 3500. Ridiculously high attack, decent stamina and defense, and since this is maxed out for Master League, you can do a level, we could use a level 51, you can use level 51 if you want. Now Machamp's really great thing, great thing about Machamp is it's able to smash through steel, which is very prominent in Master League. Now, you do have a few weaknesses. For example, Fairy typing, Togekiss is probably going to be your worst nightmare in that regard. Same thing with Mewtwo. Mewtwo with Psystrike is a nightmare as well because it does a ton of damage and it can get to Psystrike relatively quickly. You don't have to worry about flying types too much unless you see Ho-Oh or Lugia running around, and it does have a decent amount of resistances. Well, an even amount of resistances. You're just Bug, Dark, and Rock, which from my knowledge, unless it's Rock Slide from an opposing Machamp, you don't see a lot of those typings in Open Master League. So that makes it kind of a little dangerous for Master League, Open Masters Machamp, just because you don't see a lot of things in Open Masters that you could resist. Not to say that's not bad though, because, you know, Machamp still wrecks because it has Cross Chop and Counter. It has Rock Slide, and we also have the exclusive move Payback, which we'll be looking at. Is level 50 Payback Machamp XL good for Open Master League? We're about to find out. Alright, so here's the Master League rankings for, well, just the general Master League rankings. So we don't have XL Machamp. XL Pokemon aren't here for Master League, so I'm just going to go off of general to level 41, and just a quick analysis on level 50 Machamp, why it's pretty legit. So level 50 Machamp with Payback, as you see here, you have Melmetal and Dialga and Snorlax on the top 5. The reason why Groudon is number 1 is because it covers essentially Togekiss, Dialga, and all of the above. So it's able to take, it covers a lot of weaknesses that, well, not a lot of weaknesses, but it covers a lot of the meta, basically. That's why. And why Machamp is really good is because you could take out Melmetal, Snorlax, Dialga, and with Payback, you could take out Giratinas and Mewtwo's. Mewtwo's a little bit of a stretch, but you know what? If you have the energy, you can Payback a Mewtwo to the next dimension. As you see, normally Machamp would rate at number 50, at number 48 or 56, depending on which version you use. Of course, this is assuming level 40, not 50. As you see here, the reason why it's really good is because you're able to beat Dialga, Kyogre, Melmetal, Rhyperior, Metagross. Basically, the big steel typings, as well as Kyogre, which is really, really good. Remember I told you about Togekiss, though? That's the big if, is because Togekiss. Without Rock Slide, you have no coverage against Togekiss, so you're going to have 2 mons that basically beat Togekiss to be safe. As you see here, Gear Origins, Groudon, and Gear A still have a lot of play against you. However, this is the level 40 version, not the level 50. But as you see, Machamp does have play in Open Master League with Payback. Alright, here's my favorite part of the video. It's speedbook.com Matrix. Again, if you'd like to donate to speedbook.com. Okay, so we got level 50 Machamp, level 50 Shadow Champ. If you have one of these, I am hella jelly because that's a really, really good Machamp. And then we also have level 51. So 51 Shadow, 51 Machamp. I'm not going to compare Rock Slide. I'll do another video about Machamp with Rock Slide, okay? I'm gonna keep them 2 separate videos because if I did, it would be really, really long because right now we are looking at Payback XL, which is the recommended moveset anyways for Master League. So there's no point of doing a comparison. Well, you can, but then it would be a lot longer because there's a lot of things you would cover. So I'm going to do this. So for this one, I'm going to assume that your opposing Machamp is level 50 as well, just to see. Honestly, what's gonna happen here is that whoever wins whoever has energy lead or like damage, etc., is going to win the mirror match. So I'm not gonna get too complicated about anything. We're gonna assume that everything is level 40. No one's gone out there crazy and gone like level 50 like Mewtwo or anything like that. Like, we're just gonna assume 50 versus 40 right now, okay? And we're gonna run the 2 shield. Alright. So a level 50, actually here, let me do this. I'm gonna do a Machamp. I'm gonna put the level 40 Machamp. There's a level 40 Machamp, and you're just gonna compare it just so that we see the level 40 versus level 50 comparison. As you see, with a level 50 Machamp, you could beat Conkeldurr. Level 50 can also beat out Dialga, so you could beat both versions of Dialga with a level 50 Machamp. You can't do that with 40 in the 2 shield. In the 2 shield, you're able to beat Garchomp with the Shadow Champ version. You can't do that with the regular version, as you see here. So, the Shadow Hundo Machamp is looking pretty dang good. Not only do you beat Garchomp in the 2 shield, you also beat Groudon. So you Shadow Machamp with Cross Chop beats Groudon, all a level 50 versus level 40. So as you see here, all you do is you Cross Chop everything to death. You live with 42 HP. It's just nuts how powerful it is. So you're able to take out Groudon. Wow! Wait, what? Wait, what? So a level 50 Machamp can actually take out a Ho. How does this work? Okay, I'm actually curious. Do you actually pay back? Okay, so we get the Machamp. Okay, so a payback will actually do about 1/3 of a Ho-Oh's health. So you have to double bait and then that. Okay, so this is a bait to fit matchup. You have to double bait then hit payback. So you can beat Ho-Oh, but it's really, that's a lot to ask for. You basically have to double bait and then payback. You're gonna lose against Kyogre to 2 shield, as well as Lugia. Lugia does resist you pretty hard. Now, as I mentioned with the Machamp situation, whoever has energy lead or whoever has a like level 50 Machamp, like perfect, whoever has better IVs is gonna win, or whoever wins CMP is gonna win this matchup. Now, is there anything else that flips? You beat Palkia. So Palkia, level 50s can take out Palkia. Regular version cannot with payback. I believe you just do you just go straight payback, or I mean straight cross chop? You do. You just go straight cross chop. So a level 50 Machamp can take out Palkia straight cross chop, which is pretty nuts. You can also take out Zekrom with a level 50 Machamp. It looks like you can't do it with a Shadow version, but the level 50... Yeah, here, hold on. Let me take a look. So this is a level 51 Machamp. Okay, so you just straight cross chop. So you can beat a Zekrom straight cross chop if you're using the regular champ. If you're using Shadow Champ, it looks like you need a level 51 to like break. Yeah, if you're using a Shadow Pant, it looks like you need a level 51 to take out. So level 51 does matter. 51 Shadow can flip the Zekrom matchup. Otherwise, level 50 regular Machamp will beat Zekrom in the 2 shield. And I'm assuming you just go straight cross chop. So 50 versus 40 is pretty dang good. With the only bait dependent matchup in the 2 shield really being that which matchup is this one? The Ho matchup, where you have to double bait cross chop and then you hit payback. Alright, so we analyze the 2 shield, now I'm hitting the 1 shield. There is differences more in the 2 shield than the 1 shield, I think, and then there is some differences between level 50 and 51 for only like 1 matchup. So I wouldn't say level 51 matters too much, but you know, it's always good to cover everything you can. Now, in the 1 shield, as you see here, you beat Conkeldurr Dialga with either version, so level 40 or 50. The level 50 version, however, with Shadow Champ, you could beat Garchomp. Do you go straight cross chop is the question. You do. So Shadow level 50 will take out a level 40 Garchomp in the 1 shield, which is pretty nuts. Considering Garchomp does have Mudshot and it does have like Earthquake, etc. Well, that's Outrage Earthquakes. You won't beat the Sandtomb version. I'm assuming you can beat the Sandtomb version as long as you shield the Outrage, but hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'm assuming you can as long as you shield the Outrage. Garchomp is a beast. Let's see. So let's make it so we don't shield this. So don't shield this. You're gonna get debuffed. However, let's shield. Okay, so Machamp can win. So Shadow Champ can win as long as you shield the Outrage if they have the Sandtomb variation. Otherwise, you beat Garchomp. You'll lose against a bunch of things just because, well, Ghost obviously, and then yeah, Ghost, and then Groudon does outpace level 50 just because of Mudshot, Earthquake, Fire Punch. So I think this might be a bait dependent matchup with Groudon. I think Groudon has to bait you Because if you shield the Earthquake, I think you're okay. So if you shield this. So don't shield this, but you shield this. Shadow Champ. Okay, so that's a bait dependent matchup. So you can beat Groudon in a one shield as long as you shield the Earthquake. So you have to call the Power Punch. It's a lot to ask for, but hey, it's still a win con. You lose against Lugia, you lose against Ho, just because Flyer, so you start losing matchups in the 1s versus the 2s. You're only going to beat whichever Machamp wins CMP is going to win this mirror match. So whoever wins CMP, or whoever has Energy Lead, is going to win the mirror match with level 50. As you see, all versions still beat Melmetal and Metagross. You beat Palkia with the Shadow. So it looks like Shadow level 50 is actually worth more than the regular version. But it's pretty nuts because to find a good IV Shadow one, that's pretty crazy. As you see here, you could just go straight cross chop against Palkia, which is just nuts. Other than that, it looks like where you beat Rhyperior, Snorlax, Swampert, and the level 50s can flip the Zekrom matchup. So you flip some very relevant meta matchups in the ones. Obviously, you're going to die to Togekiss. So you see Togekiss, run. However, with Shadow Champ, as you see here, with level 50 Machamp, you can actually beat level 40 Zekrom. But is this bait dependent? Yeah, but it's a bait dependent matchup. As you see here, you have to... I don't think you could go straight cross chop. I think you have to land a payback. So let's assume Craze cross chop here. We're gonna do it. We run it. Yeah, so you need to hit payback. So you need a bait. That's a bait dependent matchup. So you need a bait with cross chop and then hit. So a lot of bait dependent matchups with Shadow Champ in the one shield. However, if you're able to do it, that's a pretty big win because that's a lot of that's pretty meta relevant Pokemon. All right, so we did the one shield. Here's the 0 shields. Now, as you see, I'll start looking at the negative matchups a lot more. So, as you see, level 50 in the zeros, you can still take out Dialga, Heatran, whichever Machamp has energy advantage / win CMP wins this matchup. Regular Machamp can take out Metagross, however, Shadow cannot. So, that's I don't foresee many Metagrosses in Open Master League, but if you do see one, you can take it out with Payback. And level 50 Machamp does beat level 40 Swampert, as you see here. So, and level 40 Palkia. So, Machamp with level 50 is pretty dang legit. The problem is, you're going to lose against Mewtwo and Togekiss just because Mewtwo does outpace you. So, it looks like it doesn't really matter with Mewtwo and Togekiss unless you're, like, with shield advantage. And you lose against a slew of meta picks, as you see here, just because... But it's still really good that you're able to take out a ton of you're able to take out Swampert and you're able to take out Dialga, which is really good with a level 51. Either version too, mind you. So it's pretty dang good. Now how about the 1-0s? If you give Payback Machamp the 1-0s, it looks like Shadow is able to flip a lot of matchups in the 1-0s. Dragonite, Garchomp. Groudon, Ho-Oh as well. You still don't... Here's an interesting thing. You can beat Giratina Altered with Payback, but you can't beat Gira-O in the 1-0s. Why? And it looks like the Shadow one doesn't live long enough to take out the Gira Altered. So it looks like you need to do 2 Paybacks. Even at level 50. So 127, 127. So you still... Even a level 50 Machamp still has to do two. So... Unfortunately... You still don't take out both versions of Giratina. The good thing is, you take out a slew of the meta, except for Togekiss, Lugia, Ho, of course, because they're Flyers, and Groudon, unless you're rocking Shadow Champ in the 1-0s. The really interesting thing and the really big thing is, you beat Mewtwo. This is probably the biggest thing you could flip. As you see here, you Payback. Payback will one-shot Mewtwo from a level 50 Machamp. You can't go straight Payback, though. Actually, you can. Oh yeah, you're in the 1-0s. Okay, never mind. So a Payback can take out Mewtwo as long as you have a shield, which is good. And it looks like you beat a slew of the meta. Again, you only lose Togekiss, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Giratina-O. So you still don't beat Gira-O convincingly. In order to beat Gira-O with a level 50 Shadow Champ, you have to actually... Okay, so as you see here, it does 181. You have to have chip damage. So you can't, as you see here, double... If you don't... Actually, let's see. Is this bait dependent? Let's see. If you shield the Shadow Ball... You don't shield this... If you shield this, what happens? Okay, so if you could shield this... Okay, so it's a bait dependent matchup. So with Gear O, if you can shield the Shadow Ball, you win. Or if you have Energy Lead, you can win. Because... But it still needs chip damage, unfortunately. If you look over here, you don't actually one-shot Gear O with 1 Payback. As you see here, you only do 180 damage, so that's not 100%. So you need to have chip damage on Gear already in order to take it out, and you need to call the bait, otherwise you lose. So you could beat both versions of Gear. Shadow cannot beat both versions, unfortunately. As you see here, you just fall short because of how bulky Giratina Altered is. Plus, you need to hit it with 2 paybacks. That's a lot to ask for. 2 to 0s, as you see here, you beat everything in the meta at level 50, including Mewtwo, with the exception of Togekiss. So you basically beat the entire meta in the 2 to 0s, with the exception of Togekiss. 2 to 1s is a different story, however, with 1 shield, as you see here, you could flip, as you see here, so you lose some matchups like Gear Altered. As you see here, you'll lose Gear Altered. You can win with the Shadow version, but you need, as you see, you need a bait and double payback. Bait, double payback. Actually, you could cross shop, so never mind. You can actually cross shop. So you just have to bait with cross shop, then you can end it with payback. So in the 2 to 1s, you can take out both Gira and Gear O and Gear Altered, but the Shadow version takes out Gear Altered. The regular one does not, because you just don't don't do enough damage, as you see here. Gear Altered can just Dragon Claw you to death. So even a level 50 Machamp can't really do too much. It's still like either a bait dependent matchup, or you gotta have energy lead, and you still have to do 2 paybacks to take out both Giras. The good thing is against Mewtwo, the good thing is you beat Mewtwo. Mewtwo, you can one-shot it with payback, which is really good. So as long as you hit Mewtwo with a payback, you can one-shot it with it. Yeah, as you see here, you can take it out. Mewtwo. So that's the good part. Mewtwo, you can take it down. The only issue is just this is like the 2 to 1, like Togekiss is probably your biggest issue in this entire meta. You see Togekiss run, as you see in all scenarios, with payback and with cross shop. You don't beat Togekiss. So, yeah, Togekiss still walls you, so that's the big problem, is that Payback Machamp, you don't have an answer against Togekiss. Alright, so Machamp with Payback in Open Master League. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, so the thing is, level 50 Machamp with Payback isn't that bad. The 2 good things about level 50 Machamp is you can get coverage versus your 2 worst nightmares. Giratina and against Mewtwo. Now with Mewtwo, you gotta be careful. You need to make sure that thing does not have any energy, because if it does have energy, you're kind of screwed. You need to have shields, you need to have energy, you need to be able to hit it with a payback. But if you do, it's good. Now here's the problem with Machamp. Like, it's good because the regular version, the bad thing is you don't really have Rock Slide coverage, which is the problem. And the thing about it is that it looks like the Shadow Champ version is better overall as far as like what matchups you flip, because then some of them you could just go straight cross chop. It's very difficult to play. Is it worth running a level 50 as of right now into a level 40 range? If, assuming everything is level 40, you are able to take out meta relevant stuff, i.e. like Dialgas, you're able to take out even Zekroms. I think it's bait dependent in some scenarios, but you can take out Zekroms, etc. So you can take out a lot of meta relevant Pokemon with a level 50 Machamp. Straight cross chop instead of payback. Payback does give you coverage, however, it's very situational. You need energy as well. So it's a good thing to run. I would do it for fun. Would I run it? It's just difficult. With even at level 50, at level 50 Machamp, like, you can take out the steals, which is good. You can take out a lot of meta Pokemon. It's just difficult to play. Machamp still, despite the fact being a level 50, is not the thickest stat in the world. It's still below CP as far as Dialga goes. And its stats it's able to run through a lot of things, but it doesn't have bulky stats. It's the problem. 10 more levels doesn't really add bulk. Now, it does let you win the 2 shield against Dialga, etc. So it is a good Pokemon. However, it is difficult to play. Level 50 Machamp does allow you to cross chop things to death. And if you can bait, you can pay back them down. So there is merit to Machamp. But would I run it? Yes, if you want to do it for fun. If you want to climb, I would just stay away from Master League. Because if everyone's running a level 50 Machamp and you're running a perfect one, some people might have it best buddy. If you have a best buddy Machamp, you'll win CMP. So it's just a really big mess to deal with. So I wouldn't run it in open I wouldn't run open masters right now in general. But if you want to run open masters, Machamp at level 50 isn't actually a bad idea. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.